Well, we're a minute early. You can get a bonus minute. Why not?
A bonus minute?
Value.
Oh,
That's all I ever wanted.
Incredible.
All right, go. What is that?
No.
What is that? That's not what.
Neither party nor dance is happening here.
What?
No.
You just don't get me.
Right. Yes. I'll keep it that way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever co-optional podcast live from MomoCon.
Hello. What?
Absolute pleasure to be here. We managed to drag these two out from the West Coast in a rare public appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Cox. And joined by a national dancing embarrassment, Dodger.
See, they like it.
You don't get a choice in your intro. That's how it goes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't encourage it.
I feel so great about myself now.
I guess it's an hour ego fest for you then.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Tell me more.
Thank you so much for everyone coming out. There's a fantastic crowd out there. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you guys.
For spending an hour or so with us. You want to try it again? I mean, no wonder nobody applauded the first time. Nobody knew what you were doing.
It's a round of applause.
Oh my God.
I could have gone my whole life without hearing that, but no. Never mind. We're going to be doing a shorter version of the show, needless to say, because we usually drag on for about 3.5 hours. I don't think they'd be okay with that. Regardless, so we'll do about 40 minutes to talk about games we've been playing and nonsense we've been doing, and then we'll have about a 20-so minute Q&A. There is a microphone in the middle of the aisle, a magical device that you need to put close to your face in order for us to hear you. So please don't do anything. I don't know what you're doing. I'm going to keep going as if you weren't.
I don't know what he's doing either.
Yes, you do. You are all in on this conspiracy.
I do not know. What on earth could he be doing
I'm
over there?
scratching my junk. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what I'm doing under the table.
It's an odd sound effect. We'll keep the questions relatively short so we can get through as many of you as possible. About 5 minutes before the end of the panel, we'll do a lightning round, basically, because we got no other choice. We've got to be out of here. Directly after the show, we'll be doing a signing at the autograph area. We have no idea why that is. So we're hoping that one of the staff does. We'll be over there as quickly as we can be. We'll do our signings and photos there. And no, we're not charging. We're not those kind of people.
Yeah.
We're not worth it.
They're not those kind of people.
That's the problem.
Well, yeah, you need to fund whatever the hell that was. Are you revealing that now, or is that staying around till later?
Oh, you gonna wait till we start talking? I guess I can. So.
Well, I mean, we have started talking, yes.
I want to anime it up. So I need to.
Are you cosplaying Guy Fieri?
I need to put my glasses on backwards. Like,
are we going to Flavortown right now?
We are in Flavortown.
I mean, that's true.
Atlanta is Flavortown.
It is. It is
like
delicious.
a manhole covered in Flavortown TV. No way, man. Wait, Vegeta? I guess if I'm Super Saiyan. That's okay.
Yeah.
I like this. I feel comfortable. It's not tight at all. It isn't constricting blood flow in my brain.
That's not going to make much of a difference in my
I'm
experience.
feeling great right now.
We walked around for quite a while and took note of which places there were wigs, and this was by far the best. So, yeah.
You don't sound certain about that.
Look, all I'm saying is there were some bright pink curly ones, but this was...
I wanted one that reflected the inner me.
Yeah.
I need a big sword now, and I don't know, like to shout at people.
To compensate.
Yeah.
That too, yes.
Big sword, big hair. You know what they say, right, TB?
Segoy.
I'm asking you. I really don't know.
No, I
have no idea what they say.
Quite obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. This is staying on the entire time. So,
wonderful.
Yeah, I apologize.
Truly enhances the experience. This is why
for me it
people come out with this
does.
stuff.
It really itches.
It'll keep you on your toes at least. You won't fall asleep.
I will not.
No chance of that. And frankly, the best part of doing this live is that we don't have to do the release list, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Ugh, get shit on, new games. Get pooped on, new games.
You know, I felt a little bad over the last couple of days as we blitz through the releases as we always do because there's about 100 games on Steam every week. So we have been trying to think for the past year, how do we make this segment not suck? It's full of terrible video games. We can mock them. That's cool. But also, there's some really cool stuff that we find through that segment that we would have never found otherwise. But sometimes...
Like Dead Cells. None of us had heard of Dead Cells until it was on the release list.
Have you ever heard of a game called Hyper Light Drifter?
Yes.
I just want to shout that out. It has nothing to do with anything we're talking about.
Oh, great. You got your indie cred now. That's awesome.
Let me tell you about a little game called Call of Duty.
Wow. Real delving deep on that one. But I felt bad because we glossed over a title called Gene Shift and was like, oh, okay, zombie shooter, right, great, another one of those. And I looked into it and was like, this guy's been deving it for 8 years. It's got an in-depth faction system, some invisible base building thing, mechanics from GDA 2, all sorts of other stuff. And he sends me a very polite suggestion, not mentioning his game at all, about how to improve the release cycle. And I'm like, oh, God, yeah, I called your game crap 3 days ago, didn't I?
Oh.
I guess I gotta look at it now and make up for it, but it's difficult because you've got to judge all those things by their cover. There's so many games coming out on Steam every single week now that delving through it is an impossible task.
It's true. And we do wind up seeing a lot of what appears to be the same game.
Yes.
So
Zombies. Always zombies.
Zombie shooter, retro-inspired 2D
Zombie
platformer.
game. Yeah.
Roguelite something.
A horror experience.
Oh, God. Experiences are the worst lately. It's either some early access VR nonsense for $60 or this is a first-person horror experience, atmospheric, immersive, about 15
You're in
minutes
an
long.
abandoned asylum, or is it an abandoned asylum in your mind?
You have a flashlight, or do you? Everything's very, very...
Or do
You have a weapon,
You have a
but can
flashlight,
you
or
use
do
it?
You never know.
Press the F key to find out.
There'll probably be some notes lying around somewhere at some point.
Whoa,
And a
that's gonna
thing is
reveal the
chasing you,
lore.
or is it?
Oh, we didn't bother to render the monster because it was too expensive. Or 90% of the level, which is why it's so goddamn dark.
It's brown because it's real.
Yeah, those are probably the worst things
Don't
we
make
get every
those.
week.
Please don't
No.
make those. There are so many.
When was the last game that mostly involved walking that you actually genuinely enjoyed? Yeah. There's got to be one, though. You've done a few of those.
There definitely is one. My memory is very bad, though.
Journey had jumping in it. That doesn't count. It's got to be like a first-person hold W for 20-minute simulator. And that's several years ago, isn't it? Firewatch as well. That's what, a year old at least. Mm-hmm. There hasn't been anything incredible in that genre for a while.
I like the...
I said incredible in that genre, right? I said a video game, right?
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Wrecked.
I will never like them. They were mean to me in a British newspaper for no reason. And I will hold that against them forever.
That is the funniest bit of like anger. They were mean to me in a British newspaper, and I will never forgive them.
That's about as far as we're allowed to go culturally.
You're right. Humans will never get better than this. You're right.
No,
Yeah.
no improvement to be had.
Yep.
Oh, Lord. It's been going downhill for
yeah.
a while. All of those waiting outside the door, feel free to come in. We do have
There's
some more
lots
seats.
of seats in the back.
If you're wondering what panel this is, it's the hot guys in gaming panel. Nope, they're walking away. They're walking away.
Well,
Yeah.
well done.
My beard hasn't grown in yet, but I'm working on it.
Well, there are pills for that. We have been playing some video games. We, of course, did the show back on Tuesday, but there's been a couple of things since then that we've had a chance to play. I heard...
I did wind up playing that Regalia
Yes,
game.
Regalia of Men and Monarchs is
Of
the name
Men
of it.
and Monarchs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally, oh my God. I started up my stream and I was like, okay, chat typically has this weird perfect memory for things, right? If I just start up the stream, because I couldn't remember the name of the game and you were recording something, so I was like, I can't ask Jesse. So I thought, okay, if I just start up the stream and I say, hey, what was the name of that game that Jesse was talking about playing on the last co-optional? What game was that? I'm sure they'll be able to help me. They were saying games that you mentioned like years ago. And I was like, what is happening? But eventually we got there. That game is so funny. Like, the writing in it is fantastic. The animations are so good. I
There's
love
a dead
all
man
of
who
the
lives inside
characters.
your stomach.
Yeah, there's a dead old man that lives inside of you. And I
You
know,
eat
let
his
that, let
ashes.
that
It's
sink
not
in.
weird.
They make more than one joke about that. Don't worry, you're not being original on that one. Yes, he's inside you.
So my big issue was that some levels, and I guess they're working on this, but I'll feel like I'm doing totally fine because part of it is a tactics game. So I'll feel like I'm doing totally fine, and then I'll have a battle that I literally spend like an hour trying to beat, and I can't. It's not the sort of frustrating where you know that you're the problem, right? Where you're just like, if only I was better. I see exactly what I need to do better. I'm just not doing it, and that's on me. It was like there were some fights in this game where I could not figure out what I was supposed to do.
Ugh.
And it was very frustrating. And then the next fight would be totally fine again. And I think there was just there are weird difficulty spikes in
Possibly.
it that they need to work on. But overall, that game is so clean.
Yeah. It's sort of a mixture of Animal Crossing kind of kingdom building-esque thing with tactics, isn't it?
Yeah.
I only started playing it this morning, and the first thing that immediately struck out to everyone, that Mrs. included, because she's like, what on earth is that, is the VO.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the actual actors in it. Probably half of them at this convention knowing it.
Probably. Shout out.
Now we're immediately insulting them. But I looked at a few of the IMDb pages, like, they've just been in a lot of video games. One thing that they did have in common is I think everyone has at least one character in Heroes of New Earth for some reason. So I feel like we've got that in common.
Dude, Griffith has the best. Whoever VOs Griffith in that game is like my new favorite person.
The delivery's just really good, and the writing is sort of tailored to the voice actor in a real way. Like, it doesn't feel like the VO is standing into a role they're not comfortable with. It's very sarcastic in terms of its humor.
Yeah.
It's very like, this is a fantasy
really
setting,
dry.
but we kind of realize that it's a high fantasy setting, and we're a little bit in on it, you know? But I was really impressed by it, and Jen was as well. It's like, what is that? That sounds good. Like, there's a joke that was actually funny in that.
Yeah.
When was the last time that happened in a video game? But
Right.
yeah, I want to play more of it. Pretty much dig it.
Yeah, it's great. I'm trying to think what else I've played though, aside from that. Jesse, you got a thing while I'm recalling?
He's been passing out over there as a brain. I don't know what that is or why you're so angry about it.
I don't
but
think that's a game. I don't
Do
think
I
that
owe
game
you
exists.
money? Who are you? who? That was the angriest scream I've ever heard.
That's like a Blizzard employee in the
Yeah,
back,
that-
like, talk about Heroes of the Storm!
no, do not encourage him to do that. The last time that happened, we were an hour in. I was like, oh no, it just didn't stop. It never stopped.
I've been playing because I've been, just like trying to do stupid stuff. Dukes and I played a lot of Dr. Decker, and
We did. We beat that game.
I know how that ends now. I'm not gonna spoil that.
Yeah, I've
Is
literally
it
spent
suitably ridiculous?
I've spent the last day just being like, what the fuck did we play?
That game has 6 endings, and depending on your level of insanity, that's the ending that you get. And I think the ending we got is, I want to say, a good
It's like
ending.
the middle of the road, like okay ending.
Yeah, and because I went online and I watched a guy get a crazy ending, I was like, oh, well, we definitely didn't do bad, but I can't say that we did good.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened.
I'm
but
intrigued.
It was weird. It was suitably weird. As the sessions go on, it progressively gets crazier and crazier. And then we had a moment where I think we might have called it, like way earlier.
we had one of those. I felt like I became you for a minute. Like we had this moment where we were sitting at the table and we were playing the game, and I was like, wait. I see it.
Hold on.
I get it.
No.
And this.
Preface
and this
by her hitting me like 5 times really fast. Like
'Cause I
punching
was
me
really
as hard as she
excited, so I was
could.
like,
I was
oh my
like-
god! I think I know what's going on. And I just went down this weird rabbit hole, and Jesse just looked at me, just watched me while I was doing it, and he was like, "That sounds like a thing I would say."
Because it was true.
like,
I knew exactly what you were saying. I was like, that's what I've been thinking.
Was it anywhere close?
No spoilers. No
Yeah,
spoilers.
no spoilers. The
Alright.
ending of that game is creepy and weird. But like,
It's topsy-turvy, yeah.
yeah, topsy-turvy is a good way to describe it.
Would you have to redo the whole game to get all the other endings, or is it one way you could just go back half an hour?
I
and
think
get
No,
the
you have
rest?
to redo it all.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh,
all
that's
about.
rough.
But that's
Okay.
But that's the thing,
There's
though,
so
is
many
that
things.
yeah, there's a lot that the game sort of it's hard to describe. The game from the beginning encourages this idea of like talk to the patients, but maybe don't talk to them too much.
you
Which
don't
is
wanna-
interesting.
Yeah, you don't want to let them know too much about yourself.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to inquire too much because it could throw you off the path of what really
Is
a
actually happening.
doctor detective would look for.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so I think a replay, because at the end of the game we were like, there's obviously a lot that we didn't get because we were trying to hold back asking too many questions. So a replay, you would get way more information out of it if you were like, I don't care, I'm going in, I'm going ham.
It's really interesting that a game like that, which is essentially an FMV game of static scenes, has replayability. What? That's a good question. How long is the game? Do
We
you think?
did 3 4-hour sessions.
Yeah, I was gonna say it took like 7 hours, 8 hours, right?
That's impressively long for a game that
There's
has a lot of FMV.
Also,
in
a
it.
lot of us throwing ourselves against. There were 1 or 2 characters that we could not figure out how to communicate with.
What
them.
does she want? Just so
There's,
angry.
I think it might be Act 5, whatever it is. There's one line. I think it might be Mariana or
Claire
Elin.
or
One of
Elin,
them.
yeah.
The line is one line. It's like one sentence, and it has 2 stars next to it, which means this is very important. Follow up on this. You have to deconstruct the line, and there's words in there that if you say it back, they'll move on to the next thing.
Okay.
It's one sentence. There was nothing that we couldn't figure it out. It was an impossibility.
Yeah.
We couldn't figure it out.
Because the game does, that's one thing that wound up being confusing, is it stresses from the beginning that the way to sort of continue the conversation down a certain line is repeating important words back. So like, I don't know.
If one of the lines was, I went to the beach today and I got totally naked there, the options would be beach and naked. Would probably
you
be
could
2
say
different
like,
paths.
why were you at the beach? And then she would expand upon the beach.
Yeah,
Or
'cause
why
you
were
type
you
the
naked?
questions in, right, and then it's sort of an interpreter engine.
Yeah, it
Right.
has to grab like keywords. But the thing is, sometimes it's looking for an exact phrase,
Right.
and it doesn't pull from specific words. Then it's
Okay.
like this is the more complex aspect of the game, where you're like, okay, I need to take all of the information I have thus far and ask like the one specific question that needs to be asked.
Right.
But
Did you ever-
sometimes you don't know when that point is.
Yeah, did you ever feel like that you hit a grinding halt in that game at
At
some
least
point?
twice.
Right.
Yeah,
least
but
2 times.
it does have a hint system that sometimes helps.
Yeah, sometimes the hint system would give you, because there's the 2 stars and then there's a 1 star, which is you can follow up if you want to. Sometimes they give you the hint for the 1 star thing. We'd be like, okay, I guess we'll ask about that. And then we get it and there'd be no follow up. We're like, what? What? And it's like, you have to wait 90 seconds for the next hint. So you can either,
No.
or they have a thing in there now where you can actually change it to 20 seconds, but we didn't do that because we're hardcore.
Well, you know, it gives you time to talk over the answer as well. It's just really interesting to hear about an FMV game that has that degree of investigation in it, and you know, we haven't seen many games that have done that, but a game that did do it couple of years ago that was highly acclaimed was her story, and it seems like this has advanced that formula.
Right.
And-
Yeah, you can definitely tell how they expanded upon the ideas that they started with contradiction.
Well, it's
The
not the same
game's-
company.
It's not?
Really? I thought you've been saying this for ages. That it was
No, it's a spiritual successor, but it's not the same company.
Oh, interesting. It had some of the same
Okay.
actors in it, too.
Right. It's
So
like
maybe some of the same devs that
I think
just
it's
form a new
same-
house, or
possibly it's the same circle of like friends,
right?
but it's
Okay.
not the same company
Interesting.
because those guys, the Atlas people, are trying to make a Contradiction 2.
Right.
They want to,
Probably an IP
and
thing.
so yeah, I don't know what's going on, but
Well, so watch the rest of the episodes on your channel 'cause it's highly entertaining and weird. Yes.
yeah, my mom
So
even messaged me and
entertaining.
was like, "I like watching it. It's cute."
That is the.
That's all I need.
Mom.
That's all I
the
need.
yardstick by
Yeah,
which
she doesn't watch
judge your
the
success.
She doesn't watch anything else I do, but she's like, "I like the cute ones." So
Doesn't she occasionally have a remark about the podcast?
she watches every week. Every week.
My mother every now and again messages me saying, "Could you swear less?"
Same. My dad will straight up give me a phone call and be like, "You don't need to feel like you have to swear all the time." And I'm like, "Oh, Daddy." Like I'm being peer pressured.
I feel the mild disappointment. You know, it's just mild pressure, but you feel the disappointment through the emails. I don't know. I think the podcast every week is our opportunity just to sit down and get a lot of stuff off our chests without any real
Yeah, 'cause I
pretension
don't-
of professionalism.
I don't swear ever other than the podcast, so
No, I've never heard it happen.
yeah.
Never?
Nope.
In a million years. Nope.
I'm a delicate flower.
Have you ever just waggled your head with a wig on like this? It's crazy.
I have a feeling you are starting to lose some blood to the brain at this point.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay. Keep an
It's
eye on
okay.
him. We might have to do a concussion test after
It's like
this,
when I
uh,
move, the top half of my head moves a second later, and it's wild.
Oh, God.
I shouldn't be doing that, Al.
No, not at all. I did finally get around to playing a bit of Gwent.
Yo,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes, it's been closed beta for ages. I didn't play much of the Witcher game, so I never got a chance to dive into Gwent.
Why are you
Fine.
missing out on that adventure?
Because it's like 100 hours of
It
adventure.
will make you so happy when you're done.
Yes. But it took me about a month and a half to be okay with Persona. I bounced off it the first couple of times. It's like, this is 7 hours of talking.
You can also take Persona to bed with him. Don't make it weird.
Yeah.
It has been made weird. Yeah, who's your
This
best
question
girl?
came up in my Q&A. I said I hated every party member then, and I'm going to say the same thing now. It has not changed in the last 5 hours.
What about that teacher?
She's not a party member,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but what about her, though?
but she's not a party member.
She can still be your waifu, my dude. Thank
It
you.
would be weird and inappropriate.
She even mentions how weird and inappropriate it is, and it's like, I
Exactly,
don't care.
repeatedly.
I definitely boned down with the doctor, so I was also inappropriate.
Like getting down with people that are trying to kill you through alternative medicine. Yeah,
Look,
sounds
she
about right.
cute though. She cute though.
So you say. Worth it for the extra discount on the consumables.
Right.
That's the only
What?
reason you get into a relationship anyway. Advice for real life folks as well as video
Yeah.
games.
Anyway,
Consumables
Gwent.
before love.
How's
Yeah.
Gwent going?
Yeah, I mean, I could have played it months ago, but never really had the interest in it because I don't care about the theme that much. I don't care about that stuff as much as you do. You've been into that for years.
I love it.
You do, and it's very obvious. If you know what I mean.
What?
You don't, do you? And you shouldn't.
I don't. What?
Yeah,
What?
you stay there.
What?
Okay, here's a question. As a person who never, from playing Witcher, never totally understood how Gwent works, does the standalone Gwent game explain it pretty well?
Yes, it has a very solid tutorial. I didn't understand it at all because I never played Gwent and Witcher 3, and I was into it in about 10 minutes. And it's surprising because it's a not very non-traditional card game. It's nothing like Hearthstone, nothing like Magic, nothing like anything that I've
And that's
played.
why it's so good.
Because if it was just a Witcher-themed Hearthstone, it would have probably a brief blip of popularity and then sort of disappear.
Right.
But no, it's actually quite easy to pick up because all it really is have a higher number than the other dude.
We were just talking about that.
We
mentioned
mentioned that
Triple
before the
Triad
show
earlier.
that a few games have had these mini game card games. Triple Triad is a good example. Whatever the heck, that Pazak in Old Republic, and there's a couple of others. And it is, of course, like that because that's where it came from. It was a mini game in The Witcher, but it was well fleshed out there, and now it's fully fleshed out. With the tutorial, it's going to have a story mode campaign. It's got the free-to-play CCG collectible stuff. I don't know how fair that's going to be. All I know is every time I go to the store page, there's some ogre thing that wants... I don't know what it wants.
It's an ogre. Actually, it's a troll.
Okay.
And it wants you to
farting
give
troll?
him money so
It
that
farts,
he
yes.
can then give you cards. Yeah, he
Yeah, it
does
gives
fart.
me a keg. There's no packs
Trolls
in
do
that
fart,
game.
right? Me! That's her.
It's, yeah.
I'm a
so-
farting troll in The Witcher 3. Did
I'm
you
a
all
troll
know
that
that?
smells her farts and sticks my finger up her butt in Witcher 3.
They're not actually kidding.
That's not a joke.
No.
Go to Skellige. We're in a cave.
Angry Joe's there too.
Yeah. Joe is there.
But not a
and-
troll, just Angry Joe.
Yeah, just him. Just him. It's there, and she keeps farting, and I'm like, stick a finger up your butt to stop because it's smelling up the
Advice for
cave.
life.
And then,
you can kill us.
You can kill us.
Yeah,
if
then
you
you
want.
kill us.
Yeah.
It's not
Go
weird.
back to
It's
Skellige,
characters
y'all.
in a game.
You missed out. Best characters.
Damn it.
Stop looking at us weird.
Calm down. You might,
God!
I'm seeing the flush in the face. You might want to fan yourself a little.
Stop it!
Fan it.
Ah!
Fan yourself. Do it now. Calm down.
I've always depended on you, TV. Thank you.
I know. But yeah, the game is pretty enjoyable. I don't really care about the theme so much. I was like, oh, I summoned a gold Geralt or whatever that is. Really, all that is in that game is like, it's gold and there's a 10 next to it. And that's its number. And
But what I think is great about that is those cards that are super duper special, like the gold 10s or whatever, there are many abilities in that game that specifically say, well, it will not even work on that card. So that card may be cool and you may have like a 10 down on the field, but if I put down a bunch of bronze cards and then throw down a card that makes those all 10s, like tough
you
pal.
can't use that buff on. Yeah, they're immune to both quite a lot of negative effects and positive. But it is a numbers game. It's based on 3 rounds. So you can lose a round and still win. And in fact, it's probably advisable. The tutorial makes it very clear. Look, lose this round now. Because the cards that you get at the start of the game is pretty much every card you're ever going to have for that game. You draw like, one extra? And you get a mulligan, I think, at the start of each round. That's it. So you have maybe 10 cards. If you blow all 10 cards in the first round, you can win it. He's like, I've got 45 strength. And the other guy's like, all right, I'm just going to tab out on 5 then. It's just a case of, it's like poker, it's bluffing. It's like, don't throw all your chips down on this. Someone's just going to say, right, I fold. And you can have that. So there is that element to it, which makes things a little more interesting.
Yeah.
I dug it for the time that I played it. I'm interested to see what they do with the campaign.
Let me give you my 2 pro decks. This is for everyone. Pro
right.
deck number 1, Nilfgaard Spy Deck. First round, you throw all your spies on the enemy team. They win because they have like 150 points or whatever that round.
Okay.
But you get like 1,000,000 cards. So the next 2 rounds, you just are dumping points on the field. It's douchey and mean. It's great. Number 2 for funsies, a Skellige. I don't remember what the character's called, but he is a whale shaman. He summons a whale into the opponent's deck, and it cycles through each row and makes everything 0. So if you do whale shaman and then throw down a dummy to pull the whale shaman off, then put him down again, you now have 2 whales. And if you do it again, you have 3 whales, and he can't do anything that round. It's the meanest thing in the world. That's my gift to
That's
you.
you can't escape the mill.
Yeah, it's so
Even in
good.
this game. You've ruined the meta. You realize that now. By doing this, you've influenced everybody.
Me? No.
Yeah, beta's open right now. Anyone can play it. They're doing mobile as well, right, on that?
I would hope so. I don't know for sure, but I would assume so. And
Yes.
I think you have to get the GOG downloader to play it,
Yes, you do. Speaking of
which you should do anyway because it's super easy.
It's handy. Speaking of downloaders to play things, I don't know if we ever discussed it, the fact that Destiny 2 on PC is actually going to be on the Battle.net or Blizzard app now.
It's going to be on the Blizzard
First
app.
off, Destiny 2 on
weird.
PC was a ton of fun. Like it was actually enjoyable.
As opposed to the
Jesse
console
hated
version.
original Destiny.
I-
Let's just
Well,
throw
here's
that
the
out
thing.
there first.
Destiny 2 is literally mechanically Destiny 1.
Okay.
Except on PC, they've upgraded the graphics and they
Frame
made
rate.
everything look
Mouse.
gorgeous. Oh yeah, you can actually shoot things and you don't have to like.
Wasn't
your way to
auto
it.
aim a stat on gear in that game? Mm-hmm. Ugh.
So
I wonder if they're going to keep that.
great question.
That would be weird with a mouse.
But it was fun to feel superior to everyone I was playing with.
Yes.
For once in
I
a
know.
game like that.
That's why we own PCs, to feel superior to everybody else.
Everyone
That's
I
the only
played
reason.
with. Everyone I played with was a console player. So when we got in there, we were doing like a fire team, and I was just destroying everyone, saving lives. They're like, "How are you so good at this?" It's like, I play on PC. Yeah, so it seems like it's gonna be great, and it might actually have a story this time. So
Yeah, they said they're getting rid of the Grimoire system entirely, which what was the Grimoire system? Was it just like cards with lore on it? Or
so literally this is Destiny. Destiny, you start the game, and it's you wake up, and Peter Dinklage is like, hey, it isn't Peter Dinklage anymore, but he's like, hey,
because it was bad, right?
Guardian. Oh, it was terrible.
Peter 2. Peter 2 wakes up. And
Yeah, he's like, hey, Guardian, you're alive now. I don't know why you were dead, but they need you, so let's go. And then you do a few missions, and then you get to a point where you're supposed to get story, and the guy straight up just goes, I could tell you, but we are short on time. And then you keep going. And then a little thing pops up at the bottom. It's like, if you want to unlock more of this information, go to our website. And it gives you the story. That the story was told online. It was garbage, and I hated it. It wasn't until the DLC that they started to make stories, but then I didn't care.
Right.
Yeah.
So my hope is now that this is like basically the bad guys invade Earth and destroy the last like city of man, and all the heroes are spread, and your job is to like go save them all and bring them back. That's a story that exists in the game that shouldn't need extra stuff to tell.
You would think not. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, putting on the Blizzard app's an odd one. It's the first non-Blizzard game to pop up on the app.
Yeah,
Of course,
that was
Activision
really
Blizzard,
surprising.
they're the same company, but they're publishing something that's
Everyone in the room was just like, what?
yeah. It surprised some people, but I don't know why it was that shocking.
It's
really.
Activision, yeah.
They want to put it somewhere where they don't have to pay 30% to Valve. It's really that simple. And they already have a thing in place that actually works most of the time. But
Yeah.
I don't have an objection to it. The Battle.net, I'm never calling it the Blizzard app. It's never happening. I don't care.
Even Mike Morheim at the thing was like, on our Battle.net app. And I was like, see? It'll never be Blizz app.
There's no reason. You can't even fit the word Blizzard into the square icon. They went like Blizz and then just gave up. They didn't try to come up with some cool pun or wordplay like Blizzard or something. That's not clever or
Oh, that's
funny.
right. It is
Blizz
Blizzard app.
app.
It's not Blizz app.
Yeah.
It's Battle.net. It'll
It's
always be
Battle.net
Battle.net.
is what it is.
I don't care what rebranding. I may go to BlizzCon this year with a Battle.net shirt. And just be like, it'll always be Battle.net.
Oh my God, can we just make a bunch of shirts that say it'll always be Battle.net?
Yes. Yes.
Just walk around in them.
There are some copyright issues with that, but
No, we can't
don't
sell it or else
them.
Blizzard will destroy us. But I would gladly wear one. I would gladly go make one and wear one.
yeah. I don't have a problem with it being on that. It works. It's got a decent friends list. It doesn't break a lot. It's
man.
not Uplay,
Damn.
which is really all we need. Look, the hate against Origin is unjustified. That app has been much better for the last couple of years. It's not Dead Space 3 level like 5 years ago when you were playing it having problems.
God.
It's good now.
Yeah.
It really is. The customer service is real people.
I think to say that it's unjustified is not true, though, because based on past experiences of users, they feel that it is justified to not go back and give it another chance.
True, but a lot of it is a meme, really, at this point, rather than actual
Fair,
fact.
fair enough.
Yeah.
It's the internet.
It's like we forgave Steam. I'm sorry, I was awake at 8 a.m. on the launch of Half-Life 2 when Steam was in its infancy and required for this stupid thing, and we all suffered, millions of us together, in the purgatory known as decoding application for 3 hours waiting for this stupid thing to load, and for a lot of people it just failed at the end.
Right.
Some people had the slide to go backwards on the unlock, which is just an insult at that point. It's trying to upset you. We forgave Steam for that. We can forgive Origin for that.
He's right. People forgive Blizzard easily for error 34 or error whatever they got every time they tried to play every game on launch.
Every Hearthstone expansion launch ever, the whole thing lags out and breaks.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Speaking
There
of
you go.
those games, by the way, can I tell you my big fear? That I'm going to have to play specific like Blizzard games in order to get stuff in
This panel, PG-13, brought to you by MomoCon administration.
Yeah, I've
sorry, Gabe.
thrown out some bombs
Yeah.
already today, so my bad.
In the you know they're gonna make you play 10 games of Heroes in order to get a new skin in Destiny. I
Yes.
will lose my mind. I can't keep doing that.
They will,
They're like,
yeah.
go play 20 hours of Diablo in order to get this Overwatch
You
skin.
know,
It's
the
like, I
only thing
can't-
it's going to be is Heroes of the Storm. That's the only game they're going to make you play. They don't care about any other. It's like, oh, you want Destiny stuff? Heroes of the Storm. We put Call of Duty on this application. You want a Thompson skin? Heroes of the Storm has
The minute Cade shows up in Heroes, I'm out. I'm gonna be like, I can't do this anymore, Blizzard.
That would actually be awful if they started then adding Activision published
Oh my
characters
God,
to the
yeah.
game.
Call of Duty in Heroes would be so funny. So funny.
No.
His ultimate is it becomes first person. I'd be like, I'm out. I'm out.
I'd actually play the heck out of that. That's a great idea. Wow.
You're welcome, Blizz. We're doing it again.
Incredible. No, that may have been a terrible idea. Let's not go
Oh
down
my
that
God.
path. It's a dangerous place.
How did you look? Here's the important question. How did you guys feel about the 1-year anniversary skins on Overwatch?
I'm playing in
Lucio
6
skin
months,
is
but
my
okay.
favorite one because he is dapper as hell.
Yo, I love that Genji Kamen Rider. I'm into that. Pinup Diva. I'm into that. May as a little B
That's
girl.
what I have to say. B girl May,
So cute.
maybe, and she did her things in the bees, and it goes pew.
It's actually called Maybe.
Yeah.
She's
maybe.
wonderful. May, she's a beekeeper, and I love
Perfect.
her. She's my favorite.
Yeah.
trying to think what else. Some of them I'm like, why? Like the
I don't think the Soldier one looks very good. Yeah.
The
What would you
Zarya
say
one is just
by
like a
far
robot.
The worst in your experience.
The worst new character,
Well,
new skin.
yes.
I honestly don't like the Soldier one.
I don't
That's,
like.
I
you
think
know
my
what?
least favorite.
I guess like people think the Tracer one's cool, but I don't like it.
What is it?
It's a, like spray paint girl.
Oh,
Except
yeah.
she's all covered up with like a mask and a hoodie and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like I guess that's Tracer. It's like her
Okay.
sister Tracy.
They ran out of budget.
Yeah.
Anne, who's a good friend of mine and a Twitch streamer, she made a tweet because Symmetra's outfit is really cool, but she's got a mask that covers her eyes.
Oh yeah.
And she made a tweet that was like, "See, even they know that she doesn't have to aim."
No.
So
Madam
funny.
Tish.
yeah. Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I hadn't played that game in months, and
No.
I've been playing it off and on every now and then recently. It was nice to take a long break from it.
Yes,
'cause
I'm still
I
on
got
that long
burnt
break
out
right
That
on
is
now.
a
it.
salt factory. That game. That is all games. Now what am I talking about? I shouldn't play video games.
No.
I should just go
Particularly-
read a nice book.
Team-based Blizzard ones are your bane. They're just you have spoken for hours and hours on the show about the misery they've inflicted on you.
All I want to do is
Why do
play
you
with my
still do it?
waifus. I just want to like, where's the Blizzard-based dating sim? Where's that game? I'd play that and I would have no complaints, Blizz.
I
I'd be
mean-
like, this is perfect.
I'm sure somebody's making it. They're just
There
gonna get
wasn't-
sued.
there was, like,
They're just
yeah.
not telling anybody
There
for
was
that
like
reason.
an Overwatch dating sim where even Bastion was one of the options, but I think Blizzard took it down.
Of course.
I would have funded the hell out of that. Like,
Well-
Bastion, I love you. Beep, boop, boop. I know.
It's that, the ancient knowledge and philosophy is you never announce your fan games. Because if you do, that's when the cease and desist arrives.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, at least keep it quiet.
It has to be
until-
word of mouth, like Love is Strange. Love is Strange. I never saw Love is Strange anywhere.
What is
It was the Life is Strange dating sim called Love is Strange.
Wait, wasn't the game the dating sim? Why do we need another? Like, there wasn't enough doing it in that game, so I figured we just needed to make it a dating. Life is Strange is a dating sim.
My oh my.
I mean,
But I'm just saying, I never saw anything about that game unless somebody in my chat was like, "Yo, have you heard about Love is Strange?" And then they would disappear.
all I'm saying is,
It's viral marketing for something else entirely.
You look it up and you're like, "This isn't Life is Strange at all."
Something is amiss.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think outside the only thing that I've been playing is that Skullgirls mobile game last couple of days.
Yeah.
That was surprisingly
Speaking of waifus,
good. Well, yes, that game is full of them.
Skullgirls.
The first unlock I got was Big Band. That's
like not a waifu.
No, yes, he is. Look at the size of that tuba.
Of his organ, I believe is what you meant.
Yep. Look at the
Saxophone tuba. He's got brass. Dat brass is all I can say.
Sure.
He's great. But it's one of those collectible fighters, which sounds terrible.
It's a gacha game.
Because the vast majority of them are really bad. If any of you played the original Injustice game on mobile, Marvel Clash of Champions on mobile, and the recent Power Rangers game, which supposedly is a little better.
Sam is super into that Power Rangers game.
Yeah, there's an Injustice 2 mobile game as well. I'm not sure how similar it is to Injustice 1. Oh, it's a better fighting game? Yeah, this is the thing about Skullgirls 1, is it's a really good fighting game. You only control it with your thumbs. It's gesture-based, but it feels like a fighting game, just slightly simplified. You can even do air juggle combos, trips, stuff like that, and throw cancels, and you mix them in with moves that you assign through a power system and everything. And it's a 3-on-3 tag game for the most part. And there's different variants of the different Skullgirl characters. That's the one concern I've got for the roster. It's like, there's not that many characters in Skullgirls, really. So all you can really do is like gold, silver, bronze variants of them with a couple of different moves and colors.
Right, yeah.
But the game itself has got all the Skullgirls music, all the Skullgirls animation. It's all themed really well. Yes, all of the Skullgirls animation.
I just like see you talking, and then I see Jesse with this freaking wig on, going. Just what are you nodding about?
I'm agreeing that I like Skullgirls. What's wrong with that?
But it is surprisingly good. I expect it to be terrible. I didn't want to do another gacha game. I've been avoiding Fire Emblem Heroes for that very reason.
Right.
It's like, no, not another game of pulling random characters from packs. Please, no.
I don't even want to talk about the amount of time and money I've spent on Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. That game.
Oh, you're still doing that?
I wanna point out, you know how much I am into that game? Not only did my phone died, so I had to get a new phone. Because I didn't do that whole like link it to Facebook thing, I lost everything. And I was so upset that I lost everything, I contacted Square Enix.
I mean, that's fair.
And
How much had you spent on it up to that point?
I mean, this was early on. So this wasn't even like...
You're dodging the question.
Oh, maybe like... Oh, at that point, maybe like $39.99. This was like back at the beginning of the year. Yeah, this wasn't bad. But I was mad that I lost all my progress because I did put a lot of time into it. And I was like, well, I don't want to... Oh, man. Like, I like some of the characters. So I contacted them and went through maybe 40 emails. And they were like, we'll give it back to you. And since then... Oh, I can't. I spent a lot of money since then.
Oh, no. That's why they gave it back. They knew you were a mark. They could smell it.
They talked to me about some of the... They were like, we have a lot of other people who are, they like to play this too. And I'm not saying... Apparently, Chris Hardwick loves the game. But I feel like I'm in good company. So, Chris, we should play together. Anyway, yeah, no, they keep releasing things like... Here's the Final Fantasy VI pack. And I'm like, so I have to try and buy those. And I didn't get Terra, and I was so mad. And yeah. But then I just got a dragon chick, and like she's awesome, and she kills people, and she does like 2,000% more damage on dragons. And there's an event right now that's dragons, so I'm like destroying it. I love it.
Those games are evil.
It's money sink. It is just take your money, the game.
Yep. I spent weeks completing a Jawa team in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes for no good reason. It's like there are 5 Jawas I can own, so I must own them, and they must all be 7-star, and there will be no arguments. I don't know why. It's a giant time and money sink. I get no joy out of it.
There's an event right now where there's a girl in giant pink Magitech armor, and I want it so badly, but she's 6-star rare, and I don't know that I'll be able to get her. I don't want to spend money, but I'm gonna have to.
No, don't do it. Terrible, terrible idea. We hate the gacha games. Please don't make any more of them. Good lord. We're done.
One is enough for me.
It is. One is too many. We got about 20 minutes left of the show, ladies and gentlemen, which means we're going to be doing Q&A.
Q&A.
Please do not all rush. Please keep the questions pretty short. Well, as much as we'd love to hear the life story, let's have that happen during this signing session. Want to get through as many questions as possible. About 5 minutes before the end, we'll be asking the remaining people to ask a lot of very quick questions, doing a quick lightning round to try and get through as many people as possible. If you're leaving before the Q&A, we don't blame you in the slightest.
I
but
do.
thank you very
You're
much for
missing out
coming
on some quality entertainment.
Sometimes you are. We're relying on
Thank
you
you all
for this
for
one.
coming to the Hot Boys podcast.
Indeed.
Thank you all for coming to Hot Boys Podcast.
Directly after this, we will be doing the
Hot
signing
Boys
session.
Podcast. Okay.
Hot
however
Boys
long it takes
signing
for us to get
directly
over there.
after this.
Yes.
Let's
Hot Boy
do
Q&A
this
starting
thing.
now.
We'll sign literally anything. All right, let's go.
Hit us with that question.
Please approach the microphone. Get quite close to it.
Eat that
You
thing.
mean like
Eat
this?
it.
Oh,
That
closer,
works.
closer,
Good.
closer.
A little closer, yeah.
Is this closer?
Yeah.
All right, that's
yes.
weird. That's
Yeah,
weird.
that's the one.
All
All
right.
right.
So my question is just more for Dodger because she's, I think, the one who I watch the most on Twitch.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I watch
Wow.
Jesse.
I mean, I don't really care
You're
if you
a
watch
close
me or not,
second.
as long as you sub for $4.99 a month. That's all.
Wow.
Goes. So I go back and forth between a lot of different Twitch streamers, and I've noticed one thing that is very different between them all, vastly different, is their chats. Your chat tends to be, in my experience, one of the most well-behaved and just generally all-around good place to be, unlike a lot of others. And I was wondering, what do you think the...
Wow.
I don't really
And I
care
was
if my
wanting
behaves
to
or
know,
not, as
what
long as
do
it
you-
pays $4.99 a month to chat. It's all good.
Go on.
How much of an effect do you think is the streamer who affects their chat, and how much do you think it is just how things happen?
Well, I think at this point now, because I've been streaming for so long, I have a lot of viewers who are very consistent viewers who kind of know the rules and know the atmosphere, you know? So even when people do come in and try to act kind of weird or add some kind of toxicity or say something that's sort of off color, then everybody else in the chat will be like, that's not cool, that's not how we roll here, right? I have really, really good mods who will just like uphold my rules no matter what, even when other people are like, you guys are just the worst. But you know, they're rules that I came up with. So I think it's been a time thing for sure, because when I first started, it was just like any other chat. But I've worked really, really hard to make sure that, you know, when people come in, for the most part, everything is going to be really, you know, accepting and fun and lighthearted, and that there isn't going to be just a bunch of garbage happening in the chat. And it winds up, I get a lot of people messaging me saying that hanging out in my streams and being in the chat and like interacting with the community is like a really positive experience, which is exactly what I wanted.
Barf.
So yeah, that makes me happy. So
Cool.
I'm
It's
glad.
like a real happy, creepy cult, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Who
Who
Thank you very
silences
much.
any
Thank
opposition?
you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Jesse and Dodger. You're the most trustworthy people I know.
Wow.
Whoa! Go
And
on.
I would like to
True.
know, what did TB do to get you to come to the East Coast?
Oh.
He asked us.
Yeah, he was like, hey, I went to MomoCon last year and it was really fun. You guys should come. And we were like, okay.
Yeah, that's
It really actually
it's
was that
scandalous.
easy.
It's
That was
so
literally what
scandalous. Yeah. He asked and we said yes. That's,
Pretty much.
That's the story.
Yeah.
I don't think there's more organization behind any of our stuff than that. It's like, should we do this? I'm like, yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go.
It's normally literally just like a 3-line conversation. Like, hey, I'm going to go to this. You want to go to this? And then we're like, sure.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Hi. So nowadays we're sort of starting to get into sort of, I guess, for lack of a better term, like cardinal sins of things to look out for in games. You know,
Okay.
microtransactions.
Love it.
Season pass,
Love
especially
it.
with on this DLC.
You'll buy anything.
Walking
And
simulator, survival
love 'em.
experiences.
And especially pre-orders.
Love it.
Like I know, TotalBiscuit, you're one of those
One of those. Eh?
Sorry.
Those people.
What do you mean, you people?
Like I remember you're completely against pre-orders in general.
In general.
And I know, like, I follow like Jim Sterling, who's completely against like microtransactions. What I guess out of those like,
Cardinal
the big
sins, kind of
things
which
to
is the
look
one that we
out
hate the
for,
most?
I guess like which ones are the biggest?
The ones that are big bugbears. Yeah, Jesse, what you got?
Easy. Nipple censorship. Stop censoring my games. Thank you. Thank you, one guy standing. Thank you. Thank you.
There is passion here, if
God.
only in small
You
amounts.
know, Jesse is always just so on brand. It's, man.
He's a shill for himself. What you got?
I just really hate like feature creep, honestly. But
Particularly like early access, or where they're just like, we promise the world of this game.
yeah, just any, and I think that for sure it's gotten worse as we've had more games that are, funded by communities and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
But just like, this is the game we want to make, and then in the end they tried to go too far with it and lost the plot of what the game was that they wanted to make. That really makes me sad.
Yeah, that kind of suck. You lose focus on that. And as for mine, well, you've seen that on many hours of discussion on the channel, and you've just mentioned pretty much all of them. Thank you for that. Next question.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry.
Well, you can't say sorry to start. You haven't done anything wrong.
Last time I met you, Dodger, I cried, and then I met Jenna, and I cried. So I'm trying not to cry right now. I'm sorry.
You got this. You got this.
I'm not able to make the signing. I just wanted to give you guys some things.
Sure, of course. by all
Sure,
means,
of
yeah.
course.
It's all right.
Oh,
Don't
it's
apologize,
okay.
you're great.
Don't say sorry.
Oh, thank you very much. This-
Oh, you're great. You're great. Oh, look at that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, who we got?
Hey,
Did you bring us anything? Looking like a real ass now, don't you?
Kashid has wares if you have coin.
I'm curious, how did you guys start doing get to know each other and start doing the podcast, I guess?
Wasn't that the same as us coming here? I just asked them.
No.
Yeah, TB and I started talking right when the game station was formed.
Yeah.
And started to become like kind of good friends. And then Jesse asked me to make a weird clip for a weird video, and I put it off for so long that the clip was really bad, and he made fun of me for it in the video.
That sounds about
That's a
right.
healthy
Yeah, and
foundation
then
for
we
any
became
relationship,
friends through that. And then, TB was like, I want to do a podcast. You want to be on a podcast? And I was like, sure.
Yeah, it was back in the time when the game station existed. You know, it's now called Polaris. I don't even know what it is now. It's probably shutting down in about a month because Disney doesn't want us anymore. Most of us have left anyway. But it was, at that point, the idea was collaboration between the channels as a cross-promotional thing, because the only other big network was Machinima, and they didn't really do a lot of that. And we're like, right, well, if we cross-promote, we'll all get bigger and more popular as a result. So I was like, well, a podcast's an ideal way to do that. Let's just do a rotating guest format. Let's bring people in from the game station as the fourth guest every week. And, well, we need a video, so let's just put webcams under some obnoxious overlay and go. And we're still here, so I guess it works.
Worked out. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. No exciting story behind it. That's just how it went.
A lot of drugs.
you.
Lot of drugs.
All right, here we go.
Hey, I'm really grateful that you all are here, and more grateful that the Atlanta roads didn't kill you on your drive down.
Almost.
And I was wondering, you all like role playing, and you all have some sort of connection with Geek and Sundry.
I'm just going to let that slide.
So I was
Are you saying
wondering,
that we should go to the Critical Role panel and crash it?
maybe I'm saying that.
Just heckle the whole time.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, it's time, Mercer, let's do this!
Hey, when are you going to have Dodger on the show? I said that.
But do y'all have any interest in actually being part of their role-playing ecosystem? Because I know all of y'all done the tabletop stuff and everything. So
I mean, I think these two are kind of already are because of the amount of role-play shows you're doing with JP, right?
Yeah, but specifically, if we're talking about just Geek and Sundry, if they ever ask me, yeah, I would love to.
I would only do it if they let me play my world-famous character, Grubthuk the Deballer. Hobgoblin shaman who takes the balls of his victims. Then I'm in. Deal with that, Mercer. No!
It's going ahead. As for me, probably only if they went and did a 40K thing. I'm not massively into role playing, but let me do stupid things in the 40,000 universe, and I'm all over it. All right. We have currently 8 minutes left.
Let's
so
do this.
Let's go.
Get up here.
What we got?
I just want to say, all three of you are awesome, especially you, Dodger. You steal the show.
Thank you.
But
what the hell?
But this question is actually for TotalBiscuit. But Jesse and Dodger can chime in if they want to.
You have permission.
So the question is that you guys were mentioning on the podcast that in the Japanese market, mobile gaming is very popular, and in America, it's just a hodgepodge of like all genres. What about Europe? What's very popular in Europe?
That's a really tricky one because it varies sort of on a country-by-country basis in particular. You know, as a continent, I don't think there's necessarily a huge gaming trend in particular. Britain's gaming trends are very different to France's and Germany's. Germany loves some simulators. Well,
I was going to say, doesn't
adore
England
it.
also? England
Yeah, the
really
weird,
likes
like,
manager games,
train
right?
Yeah, we like
simulator.
manager games. So football
Truck
manager, any
simulator.
kind of sports management game, we're hugely into that. But we do like the truck simulator stuff as well. And Sweden has a really deep gaming culture of LAN in particular, so PC competitive and in-depth stuff like that. So it definitely varies on a country-by-country basis, and you've also got to bear in mind the economic situation of each country in the EU is wildly different, and that's going to affect the kinds of games that they usually play because of the cost of either console hardware, PC hardware, or the games themselves. So I had a friend, he lived in former Yugoslavia, and everything that they played was older pirated PC games. Everything. Like, the whole market was piracy because the median income there was so low and the average cost of a game so high that they couldn't practically play them. But this was before the advent of free-to-play. So you've seen those countries gravitate to free-to-play. So it's a wildly varying market. It's not homogenous.
Cool. Thank
You actually got a real answer. You should be so proud.
Sounds like I do this for a living or something.
Weird.
What's y'all's opinion on wargaming.net shutting down their own content creators for disagreeing with them?
I mean, we
Didn't we
did
just talk about this?
we did just
Yeah.
talk about it, but I'll reiterate what I said. I'm glad that they sincerely apologized. It should have never happened in the first place, and a close eye should be kept on them. And why is it that everybody that makes a free-to-play tank game is apparently a giant sack of dicks? Because Gaijin ain't much better. So please point to me a free-to-play tank game in which the developers are not awful, and I'll play it. That would be lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have 5 minutes left, so we're speeding things up just a little bit.
I'll make this as quick as possible. First, I want to thank you, TotalBiscuit, and all of you guys for helping me understand critical thinking in gaming and inspiring me to get into video game reviews. But I just had a quick question. Have you ever run across a game that you liked all around, but there was one aspect that if you just look at the surface level, it looks like absolute crap, but you have to just insist people in playing it?
Damn, that's a great question. Can we come up with something on the fly for
God,
that, though?
yeah.
Anyone got it?
I feel like absolutely there have definitely been games where yeah, like release list style, you know, when we look at the release list and we're like, this game looks like garbage, and then it winds up being good. There have definitely been plenty of games where aesthetically I didn't like it, but once I played it,
Yeah,
I loved it.
That's one of the easiest things you can bounce off is the aesthetic initially. That's immediately a put off.
What's that Jonan Vasquez like hack and slash game that was on 360 and then shoot. There's a Jonan Vasquez game.
Dishwasher or something?
Yeah, it just looks like super sketchy and weird.
Oh yeah, that just came out on PC. So, yeah, it was Vampire Smile.
Yes.
The dishwasher.
Yes. That game was on 360 like a long time ago, and it's just now been ported. And
Yeah.
it like when you originally look at it, you're like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
But it feels really good to play.
Anything you got? It's a great question. It's just
I don't. I'm not
I'd
gonna
have to
lie.
probably come up with something in advance. I mean, for me, I think it happens a lot. I bounce off a game almost immediately, especially when I'm going in and say, "Hey, shall I make a video on this?" Because of like even minor things, like something that just annoys me to the point where I'm just like, Alt F4, I'm done. I'm going to something else. It happens a lot. It generally, if an interface is really bad, controls are not very good, or there's just something that is very confusing. Tutorials that are too text heavy, I bounce off that all the time.
Yeah.
Put some VO in your tutorial, please, to help me focus on what you're saying. All right, what we got? A few minutes left.
Hello.
I don't know if this question's ever been answered like in general, like on internet or anything.
Well,
but,
let's see what happens.
Damn.
With Friend Zone, is that ever making a comeback, or like is anything going on with that? With
Friend Zone was owned by Polaris,
right.
and like all of that stuff and all of their sort of video content is shutting down. So I don't
Okay.
think that show could ever
'cause
come back like legally.
Polaris was always just like this general thing that nobody kind of really knew what was going on with that, and I don't know how it's
Yes,
associated.
you have no
I don't know
idea how
it's
true that is.
I don't know how
I was
how it's
in the thick of it,
associated-
dude.
Was it
believe
really
me.
that obvious?
I don't know how it's associated
Could you see
with
through that?
everybody.
I'm glad.
We did have a lot of fun making it though. Like
That's good.
Friend Zone was really
It
really
seemed
fun
like
to
a
do.
lot of fun.
That's good.
At least it wasn't horrible.
It seemed like a lot of fun, and that's why I'm asking, because it seemed like a general place where everybody could come together. Friend Zone, ironically, of course.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to know if it was ever going to come back.
I don't think it ever could legally. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we only have a couple of minutes left. Let's
do
go
this.
very quickly. Lightning round. Let's go. Let's go.
Hit it.
All right, you guys are awesome, by the way, but real quick question. What is a game that has some sort of emotional or mental impact on your life?
Brothers and Tale of Two Sons every damn time.
I agree.
No doubt.
I don't know because it's a lightning round. I can't
Dynasty
think of one.
Warriors, go.
What possible kind of emotional impact could that have?
Have you ever fought alongside Zhao Yun? It is emotional.
Oh, dear. All right, what we got?
Game series that hasn't had a new title since 2010 or earlier that you want to come back.
Leisure Suit Larry, go!
X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
TB, catch.
I don't know what that is and I can't see.
Where'd it go?
Too
What
much
happened?
light.
Nick, it's a ball cap. Okay. Quick question. Warhammer Dawn of War 3, will it be getting any more factions, do you think?
Any more? I certainly hope so. They generally expand with a new faction in the vast majority of the strategy games. So I hope so. And quickly, 3 factions for Warhammer games is never enough. Not okay.
Thank you.
All right, next question.
For TotalBiscuit,
yes.
What is your expectation of G2A's conduct after their new deal with Gearbox? And
Well, since the deal is now dead and they didn't fix anything and they tried to palm off excuse on everybody else, I fully expect them to continue to be a rampant hive of scum and villainy, and I hope that they burn along with everything associated with
They're
them.
the cantina. All right, next.
Hello.
Also for TotalBiscuit, do you still play Warframe? And if so,
No, I don't have the time. I'd love
time?
to. It's great. They keep adding great stuff. I just don't have the time. Too much of a grind fest for me
Awesome.
at this point.
All right. Also,
Too
can I
busy.
get a picture, or
Thank
should
you.
I wait till the signing?
Yes.
Next.
Yes, next. Couple of minutes, come on. We've got
things.
signing right for this.
2 things: how you play Dead Cells and how you play visual novels.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
How you play Dead Cells,
yes,
and
A
that's
lot.
how you play visual novels.
Visual novels is the only way to go. Next.
True. We're playing a lot of both. What we got?
Favorite console exclusive game?
Oh God.
Come on, Horizon Zero Dawn. Next.
Right now, Persona 5.
Persona 5. Yeah. There we go.
All right, so this one, I'm sorry, this might be a little bit slower, but Jesse, how is Mojo Maker doing? I haven't seen him in a while.
You know, he is in Ungoro Crater right now, smoking that sweet herb with the dinosaurs.
Sounds the life.
And the other trolls. But he's there. He's still there. Don't worry.
The comeback will happen. All right, we've got what?
Hello.
5 people left. Let's go.
Sorry. So, TotalBiscuit, I was here for
Yes.
your panel last year. How does it compare to this year? And for Jesse and Dodger, how was your first impressions of MomoCon?
They've tightened things up quite a bit. It's been really professional, surprising for a con that's this young, that it's running as well as it is, and it's great to have as much space as we do for panels, unlike Dragon Con that shoves us in a closet.
For me, it's, as a person who goes to Anime Expo every year, it's been nice to be at like a smaller anime convention where I can actually like stretch out and breathe and see things.
That helps.
I've seen so many waifus, I can't control myself. It's
Thank you
too
so
much.
much.
It's sensory overload.
All right, we're going to do one more question. Lights are on. We're going to have to leave.
YouTubers usually have to teach themselves a lot of things. What was the hardest thing to learn going into the industry?
Humility.
Still working on that one, right?
What?
I'm not very good at fake laughing, but compassion.
How to not be weird in front of a camera. Cool.
Yeah, there you go. We still haven't learned that anyway. Thank you very much for coming out, folks. Thank you.